Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. I'm back. I'm finally back. Hopefully, fingers crossed. With a big news story because we have information on the next fusion, which is starting next week, the 10th of March, next Friday. So a week from recording and publishing of this video, and it's going to be none other than the first legendary version of one of the starter champions, and it is Supreme Elhain. And just to confirm, guys, this is going to be a special Anniversary Champion Fragment event. So I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, typically speaking, the normal fragment fusions where you collect 100 fragments to make the champion, they're pretty easy compared to a standard fusion where you have to collect a bunch of rares and fuse epics and level them all up and blah, blah, blah. What does a special Anniversary Champion event mean? Or fragment mean? I don't know. Maybe they're going to make it really horrible. Who the heck knows? But anyway, here she is, and this is what she's doing. We do have a blurb from Plarium. Let's take a quick look at this first. Supreme Elhain will be a PvP-oriented champion with mechanics that can counter some parts of the current arena meta. Let's take a closer look at her skills. We're going to see this ourselves. So her A1, double hitter, each hit transferring a random debuff. For A2 will be an AoE attack, doing more damage for each debuff on the target. Pair her with a champion who places debuffs to get the maximum damage. I mean, pretty straightforward, but watch out for polymorph in the enemy team. So I do have some concerns about this. We'll come back to it. But a cool thing about this, it does reset her A3 if she kills an enemy. A3, she's going to ignore ally protection, strength, and shield, and give an extra turn if she kills an enemy, so she can counter bolster set meta. Ally protection champions like Nekret the Great, Ursiga, Kyoku, which is pretty cool. And she can get into a killing cycle because of the A2 and the A3 comboing together, giving extra turns, then resetting the move that gives an extra turn. And her passive makes her immune to decrease attack. Therefore, high-tier arena champions like Nekret the Great, Mighty Uko, Taras, and Ultimate Death Knight, Harima, etc. won't be able to decrease her attack. That being said, I mean, Taras' passive, Harima's passive and stuff are still going to... Plus, all of what Nekret does is still going to do its thing. And she also does 20% more damage to enemies whose attack is lower than hers, with an aura as well. I mean, if we take a look at this, you can see it even more clearly, but that is the summary. So yeah, what do we think of her? Void Legendary. So first of all, I would say out of the bat, that makes her for a lot of players a very, very appealing investment, something that might be worth going for. I think people, generally speaking, really underrate the value of just a good Void nuker in legendary form. That's something that's really useful to put into Arena. So let's say, for example, right now, I'd say for a lot of players, Rhonda is probably your best Arena nuker. How will Elhain stack up to Rhonda? Well, we'll look at that again when we look at the skills in more detail here. But I think that generally speaking, even if Rhonda ends up doing more damage, because we don't have the exact damage multipliers, the fact that Elhain is still Void, that does give her an advantage, because you can throw her in against teams that Rhonda would struggle against, like Pythion, Ultimate Death Knight, these really common champions. And Elhain is going to do well. So yeah, this A1, Exemplar of Strikes, double hitter, each hit transferring a random debuff. This seems pretty bad. To me, it does seem like this will require accuracy, and like for an arena nuker, nothing else needs accuracy. You're not gonna run accuracy, so it's just gonna be a double hitter, which is probably fine. I actually don't know if it procs polymorph or not. Someone in the comments, let us know. I've been sick. My brain does not work. I don't know. Will polymorph proc even if she has no accuracy, just because it's like a resistance check, as it were? Because that would kind of suck, but it's kind of a filler move anyway, really. She's not going to do it that often. Let None Live, then, her A2. So this is a 3-turn when booked AoE. All of her skills, by the way, getting 20% extra damage from books. So AoE attack, 10% more damage for each debuff on the target, and resetting her A3. So we'll see how hard this hits. It's hard to tell. And I'd say once a few debuffs are out there, this is likely to hit very hard. I think one of the issues is that... can be difficult to get lots of debuffs up. Again, I'm thinking for a typical player, for most players, a very common combo, Madame Ceres is going to combo very well. So you've got your Madame Ceres, maybe in high accuracy Stone Skin or something, going right before Supreme Elhain goes. Madame Sarah strips their buffs off, puts decrease attack, decrease defense. That's 2 debuffs. That's 20% extra damage. That's pretty powerful. I mean, for me, I didn't pull Madame Sarah's for over 2 years, so not something I could have used. But still, you get sort of the gist. Mighty Uko could be like a decent sort of combo as well. Some sort of buff strip champion with debuffs could be quite strong with her. Crack Shot then at A3, the single target attack that ignores ally protection, strengthen, and shield, and gives an extra turn if she kills an enemy. I think this is a really good move. This is definitely her best move. These are very common buffs in the arena, and they're very, very difficult to hit through, to actually kill people with. But I think this is actually pretty appealing. Obviously, she's got no way to deal with Stone Skin. Stone Skin is going to still frustrate her, but it frustrates a lot of people, really, in the arena. No way around it. But yeah, this hits through a lot of stuff, which is good. So common champions that you're going to run into. Mithrala Lifebane, very common on defensive teams. She's bringing in the strengthen and the shield. So I'd say that's a very common champion you're going to see constantly. She's going to help you hit through. Pythion obviously does bring in a bit of a strengthen if he revives. She's going to help with that as well. So she is doing some useful stuff. I'm hoping this hits pretty hard. So you've got a good chance to kill somebody and then get that extra turn. So start getting ahead of the enemy team and just putting them on the back foot. They can't revive everyone and you get to destroy them. This passive, I think, is quite good too. The immune to decrease attack is nice, but not super important, I don't think. But really, the 20% more damage is pretty good. That's what makes me feel like she likely will hit very hard. 20% bonus damage against nearly everybody. Let's be real, nearly everyone. And like anyone who has as much attack as your nuker is gonna die to basically anything she does anyway, unless they've got massive protection. Crack Shot is still gonna kill them, almost definitely. So yeah, I think that's a really good passive. The aura is also useful. It's ally attack in all battles, so that is useful everywhere, which is great for a lot of people. It can be used in arena. If you're not using her in arena, this is a great one for dungeons, faction crypts, everywhere. It's very, very flexible. Doom Tower, so that's really good. Yeah, let me know what you think. When I compare her to Rhonda, I do wonder how their damage is gonna compare. They've got a very similar kit in the sense that they've got big AoE, and then they've got, big single target hit as well. Both of those champs have that. We've got an affinity advantage, generally speaking, for Elhain being void, so no weak hits. But yeah, I don't know. I think this move is really the thing that could set her apart. Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. I don't think she's obviously as strong as the top tier void nukers at all. Like, she's no Jorgid. She's not as good as Leorius or Baron or anything like that. But she's got no ignore defense built in, right? She's not quite going to compare. She doesn't have 2 AoEs or anything like that. She doesn't quite compare. But this extra turn thing with a relatively short cooldown on the AoE, I think she's actually going to be a really nice addition for most people, kind of worth going for. It certainly raised the question, what do you guys think in terms of the other starters? Seeing as Elhain, right, Supreme Elhain is such an arena-focused one, I'm kind of curious what they'll do with the others. So I'd say, for example, with Kayle, I'd love to see Kayle actually just be really PvE focused, boss focused. I guess it's kind of Dark Kayle 2.0, but I'm okay with that. But something like with poisons, maybe bring in burns or bring in some other sort of debuffs with Dark Kayle, but have them sort of focus on debuffs. That'd be pretty cool. With Aethel, for example, because all the starter champions are kind of just AoE nukers. They're kind of arena nukers, basically, with Kayle bringing some poisons. But the starters are all really similar. I'd love to see more variety here. Like with Aethel, I'd love to see her come in and maybe be another counterattack champion. How cool would that be? Aethel coming in as like a team counterattack, kind of more focused on protecting your team, debuffing the enemy, more of that sort of paladin vibe, right? Sword and shield protecting the team. That'd be kind of cool, more PvE focused, but also still good for some arena too. Maybe Galek could be like a big single target nuker compared to Elhain being kind of AoE. It'd just be cool to see some nice diversity. So I'm intrigued to see where they go. I think that Supreme Elhain is pretty cool. I think it kind of captures the essence as well of what the original Elhain did, being sort of the best arena starter by a little bit. And yeah, kind of having a little bit of this, double hit A1 and some, not extra turns, but a couple of AoEs. She kind of doesn't have a couple of AoEs, but the extra turn, getting back to the AoE quicker, gives her a bit of that vibe. I think it's good. But yeah, guys, look, thank you for watching. Like I said, hopefully I'll be back making videos more regularly. I've been very sick. for the last few months with ups and downs. So, you know, January, the end of January, the start of February were actually a big up. I was actually doing really well and looking forward to starting getting back into videos and looking forward to doing more. And the last 2.5 weeks or so, got really sick again out of the blue. So it's been really difficult. I've got Crohn's disease, if anyone's wondering. You can look it up. It's not very nice. But yeah, it's been really rough. I am doing a lot better now. I've been kind of planning to come back sort of after the weekend. And luckily, look, seems like Plarium is gracefully decided to time hard mode dungeons for that. So that's nice. But yeah, I've been kind of thinking that's when I come back. Then they announced this and I said, hey, I'll come back a couple of days early and do this video. Maybe we'll do some stuff over the weekend. I'm just taking it slow. We're not going to push things too hard and just build back up into it properly and hope there's no sudden turns again. But guys, look, thank you for your support. There's been I've just not even gone on, I'm going to be honest, I've not even gone on YouTube. I've not even looked at the comments or the channel or anything in like a week, at least. But I know the last time I looked, there was a lot of really kind messages. So I just want to say a big thank you. You know, it really does mean, I know it sounds like it doesn't mean a lot because I'm like, I didn't want to look at it, but I'm sure you can understand why, you know, sometimes when you're not feeling the best, it's like, I just want to take a clean break and just focus on me, you know? But no, when you see those nice messages, it really does make a big difference. And knowing that, you know, you're having a really positive impact on people that are watching and that they really enjoy your stuff, that's a big deal. So one of the main reasons you do this really is to brighten up people's days. So yeah, seeing those messages and stuff and the support has been really nice. So thank you. I feel like I'm constantly going on about this at the moment. This the last while. It's just constant apologies and being sick and not doing videos. And I feel like that's annoying, but hopefully it's not too annoying. Yeah, anyway, thanks for your patience. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.